The best name of any podcast in the world is PodKats.
PodKats.
That's really funny.
But I'm the biggest cat in town.
I am on the prowl indeed. Welcome to PodKats. This is Cats, John Katslamidas of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. My column is called Cats, fittingly enough. Find it on page 3A every day and online all the time. This week, I'm once again joined by the city's preeminent prop comic, Carrot Top. This is part 2 of a 2-part interview, so if you missed last week's PodKats, you may want to go back and check it out before listening to this one. As I mentioned on last week's episode, I interviewed Carrot Top inside his dressing room at Atrium Showroom at Luxor. If you're wondering what that room looks like, you can watch the entire interview on the Las Vegas Review-Journal's YouTube page. Now on to part 2 of my interview with Carrot Top, whose legal name is Scott Thompson. Take me through, Scott. You're always developing the act and evolving the act and putting new props in the act. We see it all the time now, especially with social media. You're showing the new props all the time, even before they hit the stage. Take me through a recent prop, if you can, and how it came about.
Brand new just 2 nights ago. In fact, I called brand new prop. In fact, my buddy, I was going to ask Frankie Marina to do it, but my friend, I was on the phone with him, literally called him, so he did it. But it was Bernie Sanders. He had a heart attack. So I was like, we need a Bernie Sanders joke. And it's a necktie that has a stethoscope built into it. It goes, beep, beep, I'm good. and it killed tonight. It was you could tell it's brand new.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you, it was a Dick Cheney joke.
Oh.
So there's a good example of one that I can take from the warehouse and kind of restructured into a new. So it used to be, I did that night with Dick Cheney on the Tonight Show. Remember I said, hey, it's a necktie for Dick Cheney. Beep, 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 beep.
But it happened to be that Dick Cheney was on the show that night.
Right. And then I had it did. And then I had an operation game that I put his face on it, which I can bring back now and say this is Bernie Sanders game operation. You can pull. So there's a couple times where you can, it's a great example of taking something that I did and restructuring it to be more current.
How often is it that they don't work, that you just can't get
every
together?
night?
I mean, not work for the audience, but you just can't get them together. Does that happen very often?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a strange process because you think it's, and I can perform it, rehearse it in front of my crew, and everybody loves it, or I can, right when I'm at Walmart buying the stuff, I'll try it out at the cashier lady because they know me. So like, oh, this is something for the show. What is it? Bernie Sanders. Oh, that's great, or whatever. And then I go do it at the show and it eats it. So, I don't know, but I'm pretty good at just trying to. I try to. You got to keep working on it. It's like a stand up too, and it takes a long time to get something to work.
Yeah.
Mechanically, whether it's stand up or it's a prop.
Is it getting easier now that you've done the acts for so long? Or is it harder to dig into the drill and find anything?
No, it's easier, but I've gotten more comfortable at the process of it. So yeah, it's in a sense.
You do a long stretch, and you've always done a segment, I believe, of just straight stand up in the show. And it seems like that stretch is longer now. Or maybe
Does that bother you?
No, I'm just asking if you're trying to get outside of just being,
Yes,
prop guy.
I hate being a prop guy. No, you know what's fun is I'm having a chance to get into that comfort level where I want. Cause I love both. I love being a prop guy, but I also like experimenting and getting into that realm of stand-up where I've never been comfortable doing. So it's taken all these years. Like we spoke the other day about that with George Carlin. I asked him what it must be like to be where you are now and have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Have what figured out, kid?" And I said, like this, like you got it. And he said, "I ain't got shit." And I remember I forgot that because it's kind of true in a sense. Like I get up there now, like tonight, I'm like, I got it. And it's like if you go back, when I first started here at the MGM when we first met. And where I am now is the comfort level of where I'm on stage is undeniably two different beasts. I never have a show now where I don't get, I got it.
Right. You seem like it's okay right now to just dial it down. I remember those early shows.
Yeah, because I was afraid to stop and do it. I was afraid to stop and tell a story.
Yeah, right.
Because they're not laughing. And now it's like you have this moment where it's almost like a really good, quiet moment where I'm telling the story about the hammer with my dad. There's dead silent. And that used to scare the shit out of me. And now I'm kind of like Now the weird thing is if they don't come out of that thing, then you're like, oh fuck, because
yeah.
So you have to have the confidence, and you have to have the you make more eye contact too. I've kind of learned
the hammer joke's great. That really happened.
That's a real prop, joke.
And it was what
yeah. My dad was had an amazing tool collection. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like a whole shed, and every tool is outlined, literally like a paint outline and numbered. So if something's missing, I came from school one day, and this is all true. My dad said, "Have you seen my hammer?" And I said, "I no." And I used to build these forts. We lived in the Orange Grove, and so I could build these houses. So I'd go get wood, and we'd build these amazing forts and plug it into the house. I had power. My dad's like, "Why is our electric bill like tripled?" I'm like, "I don't know. Forts plugged into the house." And so my dad said, "Have you seen my hammer?" I said, "No." He says, "It might be in your fort." I said, I don't think so." And he's like, "Well, maybe we should go look." And I was okay. And we went, and my dad's like, "But there's my hammer." I'm like, "Oh, there's your hammer." And he's like, "Well, how did it get in here?" I said, "I don't know." He's like, "It just walked in here by itself." And I said, "So I made
typical parent thing
yeah,
to
so
say.
it walked in here by itself. So I made this hammer with arms and legs on it, and I physically made it and gave it to my dad. And my dad was like, I said, "I did walk in there by yourself." And my dad's like, I remember looking at it like, "What did you do to my hammer?" And that's when the first prop kind of stuff started happening.
The first one you got to
make.
make.
That was probably 8, and then I had the carpet one when I was like 12. I made this thing and this is all true. My mom had said vacuum the carpet, and I used to always say, "I'm not vacuuming the carpet." It needs to look like it was vacuumed. So I got this paint roller, and I used to roll it on the carpet, and it would leave vacuum marks. And I didn't have to vacuum; it just looked like I vacuumed, and that was real true. And I even say to the show, "I'm taking that to Shark Tank." I was telling them. So Mark Cuban's like, "What do you got?" "What do you mean? What do I got? Look at this thing."
They would use that at certain hotels.
Yeah, that's why.
maybe
right.
this one.
Maybe, I didn't say it; he did.
Anyway.
But so that's when the first start of my prop writing kind of came out when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old.
And you've decided to fairly recently, around the time of the anniversary and the announcement here of your 5-year extension, to go back into some of your first props and go into kind of
Well, it happened when I broke my leg. So I broke my leg snowboarding, and. I know.
What are you doing?
And I'm a good snowboarder. I know, but I'm not a bad snowboarder. And if you look like Shaun White, you better be okay.
That's it.
But I'm actually pretty good. But I wasn't even showboating. I just hit a piece of ice and done. Anyway, so I had to.
Was your last run?
Last run. Thank you. That's my job. So what's your last run? Well, usually it's your last run when you break your
so.
But so I was in this dilemma. Like I was in the hospital in Park City, Utah. No beer, no liquor, with a broken leg, and I'm like, oh God, I had a show in like 6 days, and everyone's freaking out. Everybody.
Yeah.
The Carrot Top team, the Beta Carrot team has gone crazy.
Yeah, it's the Empire.
And right. So what do we do? And I said, you know what? Everyone calm down. We got this. And then, what do you mean you got this? I said, we're going to figure it out like we do anything. So we came in. I went to the warehouse and grabbed all these things. I knew I couldn't move around very well. So I grabbed all these old props and came up with the Carrot Classics. And I put a stool there, and I kind of came up with the whole unplugged, in a sense, sitting there. Telling a story,
on stage
and it
before.
No, I haven't never done, and it worked. And then we just kept it in the show since because it's kind of a nice little theater.
Yeah, it's really funny. The Neighborhood Watch sign.
That was the first thing I ever did on stage.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
I stole it. Yeah, it was a Neighborhood Crime Watch sign, and the whole joke is really true. They say, I'm watching your signs, your house, and that was true. And that was the first joke I did on stage.
Let's talk about the business of what you do. For you, I said just a second ago, you're an empire, but you are kind of
an empire.
You're a mini corporation. The Topper has a team.
Oh yeah, the Beta Carrot team. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
How many employees do you have?
75. No. No, we have the crew, the staff, and how many we total? 8.
5 plus you.
Plus, well, we have with the other. Yeah, my team, and then Jennifer, Laura, you guys. So yeah.
5 plus you for the regular.
7 plus me.
Okay, pretty tight group.
And then we have the local crew that sleeps during the show. But no, we have it takes a lot of people to put on. It really does. I mean, people always come back. Wow, that was a great show. It was good. I said, well, it takes. Or usually they say, how does all this happen? Because there's sound
the
cues,
audio cues,
video cues,
300 a show or something like that. At least,
and then the video cues. Crazy. Like
that's
a new joke tonight. I said we have a new World Series. It's Houston versus Walgreens. Because the logo, if you go back from it's literally Walgreens. I'm like, well, I play for Walgreens. We just beat CVS 3-1. We're in the World Series. But That's
Good.
real because they see it. So I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things that I love pointing out the, you know, it's like real. Someone honestly sat there, so we have a logo. What's Walgreens? Yeah, but not really. It's Walgreens. It's little. Jesus.
You have to have a prescription to get into the game.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I went in and pitched my prescription's not in here. You gave me a look.
There we go.
Boom.
Yeah, let's take that down. But is it harder, Scott, having been here in this venue since 2004? We've seen the trends come and go in Las Vegas. So you know, a lot of shows open, close. A lot of shows have opened and closed since you've been on stage. I mean, many.
Oh no, I talk about it all the time.
I know. How about for you comparatively? Are you still selling out? Are you still selling as much as you want to? How's your assessment of your bankability out
we're
there?
lucky in a sense because the theater that we perform in is a nice size. So we're not you know, trying to sell at the Coliseum every night at Caesars. So it's a nice size theater. We've been consistently, you know, doing the same kind of in a sense number wise. So that helps us in a sense of brand. My audience gambles, they drink. That helps too.
They definitely
So we have
drink.
a good demographic. You know what I mean? Though we have it's a good
Yeah, no, they're a partying
demographic.
crowd.
But you know, it's funny going back to Jay Leno. He always says, whenever I see Jay, we've been friends forever, of course. He always says, "Hey, how many?" I say, "Oh, good. How many seats is the game?" I always say, "Oh, like 5,600, 5,600." And then I always go, "No, Jay's like 500." He's like, "Oh, yeah, 500." Every time I get him every time. And he always says, "Oh, yeah, okay. Well, 5,000. That's all seats." And I go, "No, it's 500." "Oh, you say well, that's fine." Yeah.
He's still doing his ace.
Oh yeah,
series,
he's great. He's great. Jay's he's one of the nicest guys. He's always, of course, been beyond great to me.
Yeah.
One time, I love the story. We were going back. I did the Tonight Show that night, and I went into the dressing room. We were getting makeup, and I said, "Hey Jay, I'm going to take your jet back to Vegas tonight, if you don't mind." And he goes, "Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you can go with me." And I said, "No, I'm just kidding." He said, "No, I'm going back. I got to throw at the Mirage at midnight. Stay with me." So
That
I
night
said,
he was taking the jet.
yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, I was just kidding." But anyway,
Oh.
so Jeff was with me, and so he says, we're going to take the jet back. So we literally go to the airport, and we're getting on this jet. I give him like $20 for gas money. I'm like,
Only right.
yeah, it's $20 for
parking voucher.
Yeah, it's jet fuel. Here's $20. Here's my Southwest ticket and my free drink coupon. I'm going to use it and everything. Oh, yeah, that's great. And what's Southwest Airline? It's a thing. It's an airline so we're on the plane and it's really bumpy. I mean, it was really one of those horrible nights. As we all know, living in Vegas, it's just whoa. And he's sleeping. Jay's sleeping. He's out like a light. Jeff and I are on the plane. And I remember looking over at Jeff, and this is before so I said, "Jeff, get the camera. I got to take a picture," because Jay's head is like the size of, it's this big his head is huge. And he's sleeping, and we're just bouncing around every air pocket. And I'm like, "Jeff, take a picture." I was like doing a joke. I was feeding him peanuts, you know, whatever. And all of a sudden Jay wakes up like, "Hey," and looks over and he says, "Yeah, okay." I said, no. I'm like holding on to the arm. I was like, "Oh, really not good. Like I'm really." You don't like the turbines, man? I said, "No, I'm really really panicking right now." He said, "Yeah, you know, the worst thing is if the plane crashes, the newspaper's going to say Jay Leno dies with two unknowns." And I'm like, "F you. I was on the Tonight Show tonight." And I said, "I could have done Letterman, and then I would have been known." He goes, "Oh, that's good. Yeah." But it was a moment we never forgot. Yeah, it was a good night.
Did you see Steve Martin Short when they were here?
Brilliant.
Oh, you did see
No,
him?
but brilliant.
Oh, okay.
And those two people are, as far as, I mean, here's the guy right now that's one of my icons. It should be framed out in the lobby. It's here. But
Billy Crystal. Oh, there you go.
So there's not that many people that have made me like lose my mind. So Billy Crystal did in New York on Broadway.
Yeah.
And Martin Short and Steve Martin are by far one of the funniest shows ever.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
You can't breathe. And it's just from the very beginning when they said, "Please welcome," and he goes running out. "No, not you."
Everything they
it's
do
so
is
classic.
so
It's
classic.
so classic comedy.
Yeah, all their
Classic.
asides. It's like Martin and Lewis. It's like
Yeah,
that
and he
caliber.
can't. They both can't be nicer. I mean, I've met both of
super.
them. But going back, there's a good example of being a prop guy. Steve Martin was a
lot of props.
He was after he became famous with the arrow in the head and all that, and he talks about it a lot of times too. Where
Balloon animals.
where he got shit for it. What the. funny's funny and whatever.
Well, there haven't been that many, him aside, many really prop comics who are considered intelligent. I mean, we've had
there never will be.
We talked recently about who died,
Gallagher, Rip Taylor,
who just passed away, and Gallagher also.
Well, Gallagher's
brilliant. But
He's
Rip
a
Taylor, I
smart
think,
guy.
is the one that people say that he's kind of the quintessential old school prop comic.
Yeah, it was very sticky.
And you've always tried to distance yourself from that.
Well, yeah,
that
indeed.
Like a shoehorn. I remember you saying, "I'm not the guy who's."
It was a shoehorn, it was a
horn."
booby trap, it was a bra with booby traps. And I was like, it wasn't I didn't like it, it's just I didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
So, should I tell the story?
Yeah.
So, I was watching Jon Stewart's show, and this is before it was the Daily Show. It was Jon Stewart on Comedy Central. This is 20-some years ago. And so I'm watching the show as a comic, and and all of a sudden Rip Taylor comes on and starts to give me shit. Say Carrot Top took
He's
my
a
act.
guest.
He's a guest. Took my act, and he's going off, and then he took my act, and I'm like, what the. First of all, I'm like, wow, it's cool that Rip Taylor knows who I am, but I didn't take his act. I didn't take his act. I mean, if one thing I didn't do, if one thing I never did was take any. I don't know, because it was one thing I was always proud of. Going back, digressing an hour ago, was not doing other people's act. I always wanted to do my thing, so people wouldn't.
But he never gave an example of I did.
No, he didn't.
He's doing.
No, he did. No,
doing.
No, he did not. He didn't.
The shoehorn or whatever.
Right. He did. He said he took my act. So I called the show and I said, can I do a rebuttal to it? And he said, of course you can. What would you like to do? And I said, I'm going to send in a video. So I went down to the local comedy club and I told the crowd, I said, listen, I'm doing this joke. And Rip Taylor, for your people that are watching, one of his famous things was he would throw confetti.
Confetti everywhere.
He'd walk in and go, hey! He's very flamboyant. He would throw confetti and go, let's go! So I went down to the local comedy club and let the audience in on the fact that here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw confetti. I'm going to be as flamboyant as I can, like and just rip him off. So I came out, please welcome Carrot Top, and I was like, bah. And I was throwing confetti, and the crowd was going nuts. And then I sent that into Jon Stewart, and I said, this is what I did last night. So you tell me if I'm anything close to Rip Taylor, and loved it. It killed it.
It had to be.
And he was like, oh my god. And I never heard back from Rip Taylor.
Never heard from Rip
until I was on the Tonight Show at the MGM Grand at the backstage, and I didn't even know who was on the show. It was a Vegas show. And I was on it.
They did a
I was
on
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, I was on it, and they did a whole week here. They did a couple times, and I was backstage rehearsing, or we're getting ready to rehearse, and there's a little dark area, and I walked over, and I said, I literally tripped on him. I didn't see him. And I said, oh. I look in the dark. I said, oh my God, hey, Rip, Carrot Top, and he not only did he shake my hand, he just like growled at me, and I was like, oh, dude, like why, come on, and anyway. Then I was in a Kookaroo's Chicken in California, and I was getting chicken. And I looked over, I said, there's Rip Taylor. I said, my God, Kookaroo's Chicken. Okay. So I said, I got to go and say hi. So I walk up my plate of chicken, and I said, hey, man, Carrot Top's want to say, we've been, and he just, get away from you, stole my act, and you stole my chicken. And it was just horrible. It's like, oh, man. So we never made up. We never became friends, which is unfortunate because I never did his act, and it would have been nice to have.
I would really have liked to have, because I never saw him perform, and I've been here for a while.
I never saw him perform as a kid either.
I never saw him.
He was huge here.
Flamingo or what?
But
it was in the 80s.
But he opened for everyone back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a huge Vegas,
be like icon. He with Lolo Falana.
And
Sonny and Cher.
For sure. And the woman that had her own casino there. She was always very
Debbie Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. He opened for Debbie Reynolds and it was one of the things she's like, we could have been buddies and whatever. But anyway, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Gallagher and I have been on a rocky road too, but we're one.
He was in here fairly recently, a few years ago, right?
Yeah, he came to my show like 8 nights in a row and told me how everything I did was wrong.
Oh, did he? Did he come back here and talk to you?
Oh yeah, I got this. No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong.
He was here every night. I mean, he was all over the place. He was at Laugh Factory.
Yeah,
I saw him
he
at
came.
MGM,
He told me he came and tried to fix my show 8 nights in a row.
And he would call. Honestly, he would call with ideas for projects and leave me voicemail. Like, I got an idea for a project. Da 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 da.
Yeah,
and
he's a nice guy. I used to say too, you stole my act. I said, no, I hit cantaloupe. You hit watermelon. It's completely different. It's completely different.
He tried to do that act. They wouldn't let him hear because of the mess. He was going to do it to the
Trump. But Gallagher, he's a good guy. Like I said, Gallagher, brilliant. And one of
Definitely
my
brilliant.
favorite. I would study every one of it. He had some great.
He was a
great stuff.
wordsmith, that guy.
Yeah.
He really knew how
He
to
was
play
great.
with
That
words.
bomb, tomb,
Uh-huh.
bomb,
Yeah.
comb,
Park
C-O-M-B,
and
comb, no,
No.
T-O-M-B, tomb, tome, no. Brilliant.
B-O-M-B, boom, no,
Yeah,
B-O-M-B, bomb. Yeah.
Great.
And
Great
you
routine.
park in a driveway and drive
Driving
in
a parkway.
Yeah.
Why do they call them buildings when they're done building? They should
Yeah.
call them builts.
Yeah, he had a lot of that.
He was great.
Yeah, he didn't need to
Smart.
smash watermelon. It's kind of sad that the watermelon thing really took off. He turned it into a surreal act, I think was his point. But he got around for a while here, and then he just vanished again. It was interesting.
Unfortunate.
So you are going to be by the end of this term of your
Nice.
5-year.
I've been telling people this. I read it in your.
60.
I only read it when I read it in your
we're the same
thing in
age.
print. Is when I realized.
I
Holy,
can do rudimentary arithmetic because you're a year older than me.
oh,
Exactly.
thanks, John.
So we're all. I told Mullen. We're all gonna grow old together here at the Luxor. They're gonna carry us out of here at the end of it.
The weirdest thing, I'm not kidding you, in my life was reading that in print. Is when it made me think. Because
That's the weirdest
no,
thing?
well, I mean, no, I'm saying because when you see the number, you're like, oh, that's weird. Because I'm.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, you're right.
When
I'll
you
be
see your
close to
age in
60.
print when you get.
Yeah, I'll be close
I know
to
what you
60.
mean.
I've been lying all these years.
Wikipedia doesn't lie, but you
No,
are
that's what
becoming.
sucks about social media. Now they can look you up. Oh, he's old.
There's a certain value to becoming kind of the elder statesman or the older or the established.
Is there? What
person.
is it, John?
It's that people don't
You
make
don't get
fun of
laid
being.
anymore.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't
Jay
tell you
has
that.
a great joke line. He always says, "At what age do women find men invisible?" And it's kind of funny. Literally, it is kind of funny because
Probably
even though
there's
I'm
a six in
I'm
it.
in show business or whatever the hell I am, man. If I say I'm in show business, but like I get a little more because I'm in show business. But literally, I can go to lunch and I can. Women do they don't look at you.
I'm
They,
still
oh,
seeing
you're
the
Carrot
women
Top,
in
but
the-
other
in
than
the
that,
audience
no. But
that
you
are-
mean other than that, in show, if I wasn't show, they would not look at you. Like there is an age where women just were like, I don't even see you. And he's
But
right.
I don't think you qualify as that because
No,
you
because I'm in this
maintain the
business.
same
But other than
look,
that,
too. I mean,
and yeah, but I mean, there's moments where I'll be out. And I'm like, that's so funny. These women have no desire to even say hi to me. They don't, and it's okay.
well, I think the benefit of it, getting back to that, is that you've proven you're a success even in an area that people might not necessarily appreciate in the beginning, which is
Right,
prop
right,
comedy.
right,
but now
right.
they're saying, you know what,
I like-
this guy must have it going on because he's been doing it successfully
Right.
for a long time. I call it the Rush syndrome. I'm a big Rush band.
I think you meant Rush Limbaugh.
No,
You got really
Rush,
quiet in
the
here.
band. And after a while, I'm a huge Rush fan.
After
After a while,
I used to play that in band, Rush.
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah, it's Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer, mean,
sure.
trying to date Tom Sawyer,
could-
mean.
You could play that
Something
song.
don't
Our
know.
late great friend Vinnie Paul used to be able to.
Oh, I
play
love
Rush.
it. Yeah, well, yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah, he was. a
But I
big
like
fan.
being the older studsman in a sense too now because you kind of get into a rhythm of just being the old guy and it's kind of fun. Like I'm the old guy in my crew now. It sucks,
Mm-hmm.
you know. We used to have an older guy. And I was the young guy. Now I'm the old guy, and they're all still younger. So yeah,
You do that stretch at the end where you're performing as Mick Jagger. and
yeah.
you're singing
I
Start
really
Me Up,
am.
and
I really am winded now. It used to be fun. Now it's like
I really am.
I really am tired.
Pull my hamstring. On
I
the
really did pull
moonwalk.
my hamstring. Seriously.
Is there stuff on stage that you're not doing that you could do earlier in your career just because it's just
No,
too
I've
physical?
never done anything yet physically. I can't do. I still do the rock and roll thing at the end.
Yeah?
Which was unfortunate when I had my leg broke. I couldn't do that. And I always felt that people were there. They wanted to see, and I got done.
It's pretty-
I was on my knee scooter and I was like, thanks, good night. We'll see you next time. They're like, where's the rock thing? I'm like, well, I'm on a knee scooter. I can't do it. But I hated not doing it for this like 3 months.
It's still pretty powerful. The smoke and the strobes and the air machine and all that.
Yeah. It takes a lot to make me funny. I need strobes and smoke machines and fog machines,
A
and
mask,
lasers.
a couple of capes.
Yeah, a couple capes. I said to Rob, you need a cape.
All right, sir. It's going to be another stretch for you here. What else you working on?
Was this
Anything else going on?
was this on? Did we record or did they forget
We'll
to
do
break
it
it?
for
That guy
real
over there's like,
tomorrow.
I think we might not have hit the play.
No, I think we'll do a real one tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Friday.
Friday night. That's what we're supposed to do. Anything else going on you want to get out there? Any other
Well, yeah. There's always things going on. I guess I don't know.
any other TV appearances? Anything?
Yeah, there's always things happen. Nothing huge that I can talk
All right.
about, but yeah, chairman of the board too. We're working on that. The chairman returns.
Return of
whether
the
you
chairman.
like it or not. No, yeah, we'll see.
I'll have a cameo in that. I'll work my way into that one.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, it's always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Scotty.
Yeah, thank you
As
for
I
all the
said,
love over all the years, man. And
It's an easy thing to support.
well,
And
thank
we'll be
you. I
back
appreciate
soon.
that.
We'll bring a
And all your listeners and followers, the best name of any podcast in the world is PodKats.
PodKats. It's
That's
all
really
named.
funny.
It's all
No, I
named.
literally was like, that's great. That's brilliant. As a marketing,
Marketing guy.
that was
Right.
brilliant.
I get it.
PodKats.
There's no higher praise.